gaming shoe, I said that you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs slide. Fast talking, no riddling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That much making a portrait. Gun kick back, not grannies from porches. David on the scene, you know that it's scorching. What's a man with king? No response to the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You from the gaming shoe, I said that you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted, this what you wanted, huh?
What's a man or a king? No response to the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You from the gaming shoe, I said that you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs slide. Fast talking, no riddling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That much making a portrait. Gun kick back, not grannies from porches. David on the scene, you know that it's scorching. What's a man or a king? No response to the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You from the gaming shoe, I said that you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted, this what you wanted, huh?
What's a man or a king? No response to the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You from the gaming shoe, I said that you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs slide. Fast talking, no riddling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That much making a portrait. Gun kick back, not grannies from porches. David on the scene, you know that it's scorching. What's a man or a king? No response to the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You from the gaming shoe, I said that you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted, this what you wanted, huh?
Peace and blessings and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. And it's a glorious Saturday, and this Saturday is even more glorious, brought to you by Pocari Sweat. Now, if you know you in Japan and you know how those days get, if it's a really hot day and your electrolytes is low, grab yourself some Pocari Sweat. Brought to you from the glorious place of Japan. I miss you so much. But I told you guys, I found a store, a supermarket, a slice of heaven, if you will, that caters to me and my desire to be in the land of the rising sun. And when I tell you this, I took my son there today, and he was just blown away by all the stuff that they had available there. And I was going over the stuff that I was eating, and you know how the food is, and he just got a chance to see like a sliver of it. The only reason why I didn't take him to Japan this year was based off of the fact that he had just started high school, and I don't need him missing any time from that, especially in the crucial early stages of going to high school, like when you're just trying to, you know, get your bearings. It's a drastic change from middle school to high school. No matter who you are, that's my opinion of it, and he's adjusting fine. So, and I know for a fact that's not my last time going to Japan. Next time, be a family trip type of thing. But if it's your first time finding the channel, you found your new best friend. If you love Xbox, then you love me, the King, because who else is going to be wearing Is It on Game Pass besides the people that made this shirt? Now, I want you to go to Grown Women's Gaming, and if you like this shirt, you can go right over there, and this is part of their merch. I'm highly supportive of them, female gamers, especially women of color that is in our space. their game regularly and have some really dope merch. So, go check that out. If you want to get the shirt, go get it. They're a fantastic show. But thank y'all guys for coming back. Now, if you got a chance to see last night, we had Fight Night Friday. Fight Night Friday was so much fun. And it was the introduction to black privilege. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me see if I can pull that up. Now, it was hilarious. It was funny. It was definitely something, that got the crowd popping. Let me see. Let me remove that. Because we're in a whole new world of censorship right now, to be honest with you, and we're going to talk about that. But let me show you what I mean. Hold on, let me mute that real quick. Pause that. All right, bring that back to right about there. Let me open that. Hold on. All right, so this is us yesterday playing. I want you to see this in its entirety, right? Let me go day stream. All right, cool. Let me hit that. Woo! Let him stay focused. No token.
Yeah.
No does not play on him.
Woo!
After no help, though, go down. Can't take too many hits.
Oh, man.
Hey. So this is the part where they're getting mad with me. He's gonna take a bunch of randoms and get his ass whipped.
You like that? Like a Kuma.
That's me versus Dip Down Anime.
Ah, that's what that button does, huh? Dude, you stop being an idiot, bro. What are you doing?
Like what's the company of Alien Earth? They told me that's what that is.
He tried to do some stand by me. The introduction to black privilege. Black privilege wins again.
I know not to pick her.
Yeah, that happened yesterday, and it's a longer, funnier talk about what we were doing there. But again, shout out to the team that showed up yesterday. Shout out to Sinister that's in the chat. That's my guy. Shout out to Andre Doyle, Jason, legendary Yobi, Mason, the Angry Therapist. All of you guys that are here, share that out. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Sarabon has to keep coming out, and first, let me say a couple of things. Two things. Sarabon is she's the president of Xbox. She's supposed to be the face of Xbox. She's supposed to be the one front and center talking about hardware. She's the one that's talking about software. She's the face. Phil has ascended. Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer, first of his name, has ascended. He's CEO. He's the boss. He's above all. Microsoft Gaming. Anything that is Microsoft. The whole time I'm talking and it was muted. Bro. And it's right here. It's this little button. Shout out to HP. Shout out to HP. Yeah, I hit it. I know. I see y'all. And it's like, mute, King, you're muted. All right, so, yeah, of course they're trying to silence me, bro. And I got to be very mindful because it's super sensitive. As soon as I touch the joint, it pause. It'll shut off. So super, and I'm animated, so I got to watch myself. I did that a couple of times. I did that on Iron Lords. All right, so I was probably at the part where, Phil is the boss and he's above Sarah. Sarah is the president of Xbox, and she's putting people in their place based off of them coming out with false information. Blessings. And you got to really think about it, is because she's supposed to be front and center. And I did have trepidations when it comes to next-gen hardware based off of the fact of this unprecedented success of this device here. This device here is super successful. It's not how I thought. Honestly, to be serious, I just figured, it's going to be a niche item. Attaching the Microsoft and Xbox name to it has galvanized ASUS in a way that is different, right? All right, so, and I got to say one thing to those people out there that, choose not to call it an Xbox. Let me tell you. Because I saw somebody. Okay, so this is 100% mango juice with pulp. No sugar added. This thing is freaking phenomenal. If you look at it, sodium is at 2%. This is absolutely ridiculous, bro. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. You really have to, figure out how you're going to either get to Japan or get to these stores that's going to show you how to eat healthier. It's crazy. But, all right, so I'm looking at the device and I'm looking at it selling. But I thought it was just going to be a niche type of situation, right? Be honest with you. Let's be real. $1,000, is it going to sell a lot? Nah. And then you got a lot of people that have a regular ROG, right? The first one. And they're saying stuff like, nah, it's not worth it. All right. I'm gonna keep my regular ROG. And shout out to you. I had the regular ROG. I can honestly tell you it's night and day. It's not the same. And I know you're gonna say it's just a button, and I'm gonna tell you no. If I took your girlfriend and I went and I gave her enhancements, BBLs, enlargements, fillers, Botox, put her on a diet, got her right, she's brand new again. She's different. She's not the same as before. And I mean, and this goes if you're a woman looking at a man. If you had your man, and we take him away and we put him on the best nutrition, put him in the gym, did everything, enhancements, Botox, changed a lot of situations, and you got him back. It's not the same, right? So those people that have the original, it's not the same. And it's okay for you to say that and feel that way because, one, maybe you don't want to spend $1,000 and you're not going to get the value for the device that you have now. That's one, because you waited too long and you was being bullheaded. That's one. Two, maybe you don't have the $1,000 on hand right now because it's the holiday season and the end of the year is coming, and you're probably either gearing up to pay your taxes early or setting up the year for whatever, right? Or probably waiting for a Black Friday sale. Who knows? Or you just probably say, I don't see much of a difference and I'm going to stay ignorant. Any one of those three is all right with me because I don't care. That's how you live your life. What I'm saying for those individuals that are comparing the two, night and day, not the same. I don't care if you even got the update. If you even got the update, the device feels better. The device is snappier. The device is a whole lot faster when it comes to certain aspects of the device. Is natively completely different, and it's an Xbox. The reason why I can say it's an Xbox, and they're gonna say, well, the original ROG Ally existed, and it did much of the things that this Xbox ROG Ally does. Your wife existed, your husband existed before you married them. After you married them, they took your name. Are they the same person they was before? You got me there, King. You got me there. Now, and this is for us. We are in the know, right? These other people aren't in the know. They don't know, bro. They don't know anything. The consumers don't know a thing. All they know is when you look at Good Morning America, Sarah Bond and Good Morning America is talking about the new Xbox handheld. You got publications like Variety talking about the Xbox handheld. So, speaking conventionally, people are going to see this as the Xbox handheld. How many people, casuals, know what the hell ASUS is? Who the hell is ASUS? They don't know that. But once you put Xbox to it, Xbox has enough of a brand recognition that, oh, snap, Xbox got a handheld? What that's about? And that's that. And they jump into it. And they figure it out. George Parcells, the £2 super chat. Yo, King, the Xbox ROG Ally X order coming in December. Blessings. That's dope to hear. I seen everybody that I seen on Twitter that showed that they had their device. I retweeted, I put a like. I made sure that your joy was celebrated. Because there's a lot of people out there trying to dampen your parade, trying to put a wet blanket on your fun, your decisions, telling you, I don't know why you got a console. That's not even an Xbox. Why do you care? And I had this epiphany. It's for PlayStation channels. It's for you PlayStation dudes. It's for the PlayStation guys. It's for you guys. This is so good. This is ridiculous, bro. This is so good. This is crazy. I got to tell my wife to come down here and try this before I freaking drink all of this. Hey, babe. She probably can't hear me. The door's closed. So, the device is lit. I want to celebrate your celebration. People are trying to be a wet blanket. But I had this little epiphany. And this little epiphany is, for all these PlayStation channels, right, that are always talking about Xbox is dead, Xbox is dying, Xbox is getting out of the hardware business, and they make their money off of talking about how bad Xbox is and where Xbox is going and Xbox is out. What happens if Xbox really leaves? How would you make your money? How would you feed your kids? How would your lights be on? How would you feed yourself? Right? Let's say, because a lot of these dudes is basement dwellers. So how would you feed yourself? Like, how are you going to motivate? How are you going to get around in this life? If you don't have anything negative to say about Xbox, how are you going to get around? You got to really start thinking about your level of commitment to the hate and start really conceiving what that might be. See, the reason why I say hashtag no PlayStation 6, we're going to run it up on these bums, I'm going to keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation. Doing that infuriates the monkey crap out of you. And I keep you guys in a perpetual state of, oh, I can't stand him, bro. He's a damn liar. He knows there's a PlayStation 6. Some of y'all don't even got a PlayStation 5. Some of y'all still on PlayStation 4, and you're just going to bypass this generation and get a 6 thinking that it's going to be cheaper. I got a conversation about that because that logic is crazy to me, right? Because a lot of you are still stuck on your PlayStation 4s and are going to bypass this generation to get to that generation. But the level of hate, y'all need to change it. See, I don't really hate PlayStation. I really hate y'all guys. And if I can get rid of y'all guys, well, then y'all could be an app. See, and in being an app, well, guess what happens? I get a chance to play all of your games, right? Now, I do want to say one thing. And I'm going to get into the playing of your games, but I do want to say this is how brain dense these individuals are. Now, a lot of times other channels like to call them ponies. I like to refer to them as ponies as well over here. But I'm trying to, after receiving this beautiful bouncing baby, after receiving this, I really understood that there's levels to this shit. Shout out to Dark. No, it's levels to this. Because how could you hate on me? You ain't even in the club. Shout out to Chris Brown. I'm like, this is insane. This is absolutely insane. This device is bonkers to me. Oh, snap. Copilot oh, snap. Hi, I'm Copilot. I'm your personal gaming sidekick. I'm here. Oh, snap. Wow. I want energetic Copilot. Yo, I just got an update and I didn't. Wow. That's dope. I didn't even know that. Okay. So, just having my library at my fingertips for my games that I enjoy. And I'm going to get a larger memory for this device. But, there's no need to keep bashing these people because honestly, it's truly 100% about gaming. But let me show you how dense these people are. And it's just really weird that they need to find a reason to blame Xbox and Sony could do no wrong. This is, I'm going to drop a video for you members today in the background. Y'all guys are going to see some stuff that I was talking about. So if you got a chance to see me talk about Pocari Sweat, I'm going to be talking about a whole bunch of stuff, and y'all going to see it. I'm going to take y'all with me into Super Potato. I think Super Potato is going to be the video today. But check this out. The PlayStation 6 price could be expensive due to the Xbox. Due to Xbox, not due to PlayStation. Due to Xbox, the price could be high. Following recent reports, the PlayStation 6 release window, another leak is corroborated and claims that it suggested the next generation Sony will release in 2027. However, the leak also suggests that with the recent price hikes, particularly with Xbox, the price of the console could be higher than what people thought. What the hell does that have to do with Xbox? This is the bar none. And I'm going to give you the reason why they don't use any logic. And I'm going to tell you why Xbox has absolutely nothing to do with the highest price that you're ever going to see on a PlayStation console device based on logic that I'm going to give you. The Angry Therapist with the $5 super chat, I'm holding off on getting one right now, was just at Best Buy. Wish they had dummy units for me to feel it. Pause. My Ally Extreme has to hold me off. Yo, so mine has it, right? My Best Buy has the units there. And Not the white one. For some reason, the white one is available for purchase, but the black one is only available for touch. Pause. And it's sold out. But they have them there. Hopefully that you can get a chance to, check out the ergonomics of the device, and you can put it through paces. You being a person that has the Extreme will immediately, the moment you turn the device on and move it around the device, you would immediately see the difference, and you would say, oh, no. It's trust and believe. I guarantee it. Because remember, all right, y'all had asked, how did Iron Lords come up with who was going to get the review unit? And it, came down to me. And, because we have a lot of other stuff that we're doing. If y'all got a chance to see myself and Hip Hop Gamer, we're doing a whole lot of stuff. Got a lot of stuff with the youth, got a lot of stuff with some adults. We got a lot of work that we're putting forth for the community to make this a better place, put our stamp and imprint on this earth. But it came down to, really, two people, right? Cog and myself. And Cog has his Extreme, and I had already sold mine. And it was just a really group decision that we came up with. But I'm going to be real with you. I probably wasn't going to buy the thing. And that's based off of my feelings off of the original ROG. Remember, I got my Steam Deck, and I was like, I'm good. I don't care. And I don't even have the OLED Steam Deck. I actually wanted to get the OLED Steam Deck, but I'm going to let my son, play my Steam Deck. Now, actually, I got to text him, let him know. He come downstairs and turn on the Steam Deck for him, let him play that. But I wasn't going to get it. And I was going to just say, FTW, I'm not going to do it. But after receiving it, after getting the unit and going over everything about it, absolute night and day, bro. Absolute worth your purchase. But so everybody's going to cite Moore's Law is dead. And they're going to talk about he's more concerned with the fact that the Xbox Series X is $800, and he's talking about the 2 tera one. And Xbox Handheld is $1,000. That's like what's going on to make the PlayStation 6 expensive. That's idiotic in the thought process, because a lot of people was thinking this is the stupid thought process of individuals thinking. And it's not going to be $800. It's going to be way more than $800, because if you can go get a PlayStation 5 Pro right now, and they're not going to manufacture in the States. If you can go get a PlayStation 5 Pro right now for $749 right now, and that's without the stand, without the disk drive, and you have to go get the stand, you have to go get the disk drive, that brings it up to $900. I paid $900 for my PlayStation 5 Pro. That's with taxes and everything included. They're thinking with this illogical thought process, and they want to blame somebody, but they got to blame Xbox, because Xbox is the big bad. Because Xbox has the more expensive console that's in the marketplace, and Xbox is continuing to raise prices and force the industry into a place of acceptance. Just because one does one thing, the other one does not have to do it, right? So don't be fooled by someone telling you that Sony has to do this. They don't have to do that. The logical stance is their best device that's in the marketplace right now is $800 and better, right? With taxes and so on. And I'm talking about the PlayStation 5 Pro. Now, if they did make a handheld device, probably the handheld device can come in at $600-700, right? But it will be a very deficient device in the sense that it will probably be base, a little bit of the base of the PlayStation 5 or lower, so to make it work, right? Because you got to have the screen. It's just a lot of things that's going to go into the device to make the device actually affordable. And we know that Hiroki Totoki is now no longer subsidizing the cost of the console, because this piece here is based off of the fact that the PlayStation 4 era used to subsidize the cost of the console. None of them are subsidizing this cost, right? So if everything stays the same, everything, and I'm talking about, let's say this is 2027 and the price of the PlayStation 5 Pro is as is. Nothing goes down. Price stays the same. PlayStation cannot launch a new device lower than an existing SKU that's in the marketplace based off of the perceived value of the new device. The perceived value of the new device has to be greater than what is existing, right? So, and how some of our culture believes, we believe that more equals better. You can't bring me something like, let's say the new iPhone came out, right? You couldn't introduce the new iPhone into the marketplace $300-$400 cheaper than the current one that's in the marketplace. And it does more, and it has all this stuff going on. It's impossible. So this is the reason why we're at a point of the Rubicon was crossed. Remember when I kept saying that? I'm like, damn, man, we have reached a point where we can't go back down in price. Price itself is at a point where we're kind of stuck here. I was completely upset with the price of the Xbox ROG Ally X. Absolutely, completely upset with it because it left zero hope for a device of that same power coming in cheaper. If you look at the Claw, the MSI Claw, that thing is $13.99, right? Shout out to the Angry Therapist with the £5 super chat. This don't make sense because Sony's undercut their console against the Sega and again at Xbox. So why won't they do it again? Different people are in place. When Hiroki's not taking a bad step and noticing how much he's making based off of what he views as the decisions that to keep PlayStation afloat, I don't agree with the decision to make Horizon a movie, whatever. Other than those decisions like making concerts and stuff like that, I think they should focus more on games, especially with the IPs, and focus on more of putting games in other places. And I'm going to talk about games going in other places in a second because they do have a game that I believe that is going to do some good stuff. But different people, different times, different strategies. I don't believe that their strategy right now is to look at Microsoft, and Microsoft has actually removed themselves from the just console space. As Nintendo removed themselves from the competition between the two with the power narrative, they can still give you games that are based upon smaller power specs, but they don't chase the same demographics. They're no longer in that space. So when Nintendo removed themselves out of that, I believe Xbox removed themselves out of the, you can categorize them the same way that you would categorize a PlayStation. They're no longer, this device here removes them from that language, that level of conversation. No longer will those conversations be had based upon what this device does, because anybody that has this device understands their mentality going forward, especially with all the confirmation being that the next Xbox machine is going to be a console hybrid, a device that's going to give you the best of both worlds, that's going to give you a little bit of rap and a little bit of R&B, a little bit of country, a little bit of soul. It's going to give you everything that you're looking for in one box. And it all starts with the user interface. If the user interface is intuitive enough, like this thing, I told you, was a good start with this thing. It's not flawless yet, right? But giving us enough time that the device that we're going to get inside our living rooms, and I got something showing up today from ASUS, and I'm going to do the unboxing for that for my members, and you guys are going to get a chance to see what ASUS sent me. They saw my video. One person hit me in the DM and said, "Ingenious, you said nothing and you just unboxed it and you let the device speak for itself." I was like, that's pretty much what I was thinking about. And then I also tagged them in the Iron Lords video, and they asked me a couple of questions, to get Iron Lords some products as well. But they're sending me some products based off of those interviews, the reviews of the device. And they kind of just like my take on it. I don't know. I don't know. I thought it was decent. I didn't think it was anything great. But let me talk about something that I think is important, because this lets you know a couple of things. One, if this actually happens, and Sony right now, Sony San Diego is hiring for a PC dev, MLB The Show may be the next PlayStation Live game to come to PC. Knowing that, that means that I'm going to have that game on the go. I'm going to get a chance to play the show on the go. A baseball game through live service, as far as playing multiplayer online, playing other people, anywhere I choose with my device on the go. Be it from the Microsoft Store, be it from Steam, be it from any storefront, which is available on this device. That lets me know Sony understands the PC marketplace, like Xbox understood years ago, was growing in a manner that could not be ignored. It grew to the point where you see Battlefield, the console versions sold half. Each of them did not equal what Steam sold. So that allows you to know that PC dudes definitely buying more games. PC dudes are a little bit more galvanized when it comes to supporting something that they believe in. And console just isn't enough. So with the fact that you see now why Xbox is agreeing with that statement, Xbox is telling you that engagement is the metrics that they're looking for. That's how they measure success. I've noticed a couple of people laugh at that language because they feel, and this is how P-brains think. There's no way that level of engagement equals more than a sale. And those are small-minded individuals. Those are people that you pay with cash. Those are the people that still go to the check cashing place to cash a check. They never signed up for direct deposit. Now, there's different levels to this, right? You have to see what that engagement gives you. That one level of engagement, let's say how many hours you're sitting there playing that game. Those hours gives back data that is usable to different companies, and they sell your data at a large rate. This is the reason why they want to tie your ID and police state everything. I tweeted it earlier, and it's a little deeper than exactly what I'm going to go into, but I'm going to get into that in another topic that I have here. But the fact that PlayStation understands that they need to start making their games strictly with PC in mind, not just console. We know this is to be true, but PC in mind. Now, you don't even have to worry about making an Xbox version, because if you make a Windows version, that is the Xbox version. That's the Play Anywhere version. That's the version that you can play on multiple devices and stream it. That's why Microsoft and Xbox is trying to bell the mouse with that. Yes, make it for PC. Yes, go do that. Because the devices that we have is definitely geared to what you're trying to do. Go for it. While you're looking to get extra money, I told you, Sony would never walk away from that money. Never. It's just about to get worse. And PlayStation dudes would tell you, oh, that means nothing. It means absolutely everything. It means day and date is coming at some point in time. It means once you put PC in the mind frame of Sony developers, that means day and date on PC is coming. So if it's day and date on PC, what does that mean now? That means that it's day and date on Xbox. That means you can't duck that fade. That means your whole slate. Whereas Microsoft makes you wait for games. Forza Horizon 6. When I told you that Microsoft is going to dangle those fruits, get your guys salivating and wanting these games and getting you all lathered up, you're not getting it day and day. When I told you that it's going to be on a game-to-game basis, and if those games happen to fit what they want, then you're going to get those games. Now, there's something that bothers me that popped up, and I need you to see this because it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense because me personally, I'm like, well, why couldn't you do this? But I understand Microsoft doing what they did allowed this thing to make sense. Let me show you something. Let me show you something that I'm looking forward to right now. Let me see. Is it this one? Oh, no. Not that one. Sorry. Boop. Okay. Hey, what's up? You want to come say hi? Come say hi. Come. You don't want to say hi? Okay, well then you're going to have to go upstairs to mama because they can't see your face down there. Yeah, well, I'm live right now. Yeah. You ate your candy? Yes. Hold on. Let me call mama. You want to see they can see you a little bit. They can only see you a little bit. Look, stand over there. Stand over there. So they can see a little bit. Let me see Mike. Nope, they can't see you. They can't see you. They can't see you. I know it's not happy birthday time, but yeah, he loves to hang out with Papa. He loves to hang out with Papa. Let me call Mama. And now you know I got to call Mama and tell her to come get you, right? You was blowing out the candles. Babe, he's downstairs with me. Yeah. Thank you. No, that's a boy. Right? So he gets down here, he sees all the statues, and he starts to go nuts. But let me show you something that I was a little bit
Happy birthday.
Yeah, he's cute as hell. Like, yo, that's why I don't get upset with him because he's absolutely super adorable. Like, let me see if I could bring this camera down so y'all can see him. Yeah, you see you? I got you. Got you. Yeah. All right. So let me show y'all something while my wife comes and grab them. A fantastic game, but I have one problem. The game is only on PC Game Pass at the moment. And I'm like, damn, I like the game. I want the game to be available to everyone. Yo, you got to see how everybody came down here now. Both dogs is down here. He's upstairs because they opened the door, let them in. But, all right, so this is how to get started in the world of PAX Die. It's available now on PC Game Pass. You know, you could download it or whatever, and you could just, it's an MMO, it's a social sandbox MMO where players are free to choose their own goals, learn how to explore and build your home, forge a reputation, and craft your own story. And the game looks super phenomenal. I downloaded it onto my Xbox ROG Ally X, and I'm going to dig into the game a little bit later. You can browse markets, join a clan, find a perfect spot for your home, build your home out, explore the map, and go deeper into this game. And I said, well, damn, it's crazy how they just drop a large MMO like that inside Game Pass. And the fact that if you happen to have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, then this game just fell into your lap. It's another game that fell into my lap. And I'm a little upset with this. I'm upset with this because it's at a point now where does Xbox have too many games that they can't market? Hold on. They can't market. They can't, like drum up anticipation. I saw this game at a Summer Games Fest or one of the shows. Don't worry, Coco, I'm going to feed you in a minute. I saw this game at one of the shows, and I'm super into it. I'm super into the developer. I happen to have talked to Tim Schafer. Okay, so check it out. Tim Schafer was at Summer Game Fest. So we standing there, and Tim Schafer sees us, we walking with the Iron Lord shirts on, and he's like, oh, what's going on? I want to know what's going on with that. Like the shirts, right? So, and if you haven't seen us in public, it's kind of strange to see a group of men walking around with a uniform, and you know that they're about gaming, we're working, and it's just like, oh, what's going on? And it's always a what's going on type of moment. So if they're looking, they're trying to see, well, Tim actually asks, what's going on? And we like, oh, we're Iron Lord's podcast, and definitely want to get him on the show. So we're like, yo, let's take a picture with Tim. So Cog had on his Ninja Shinobi. He had on his Shinobi shirt. That was the day I said, everybody wear your shirts. I'm wearing my shirt. Hard Geek is wearing his shirt. I think Attic was wearing his shirt. Solve wasn't there. Cog wasn't wearing his shirt. Cog goes, I'm Lord Cognito. And on the back of the shirt says your name at the top, like Lord Cognito. Not that shirt, because he was wearing a Shinobi shirt. So he goes, I'm Lord Cognito. And it was the most, what the hell are you doing moment? But shout out to Tim Schafer. Funny. We all laughed about it. We had a good joke about it. And I was like, yeah, he wanted to do this, what I'm doing, and the name is on the back. And he was like, oh, so good. So what do you like, the cameraman for them? Because he didn't have a shirt on. But check this out. Check out this. I wanted this game, and I thought they was going to have a big build up to it, but they didn't. And it just came out, and I was just stuck like, what? And right now, it's available right now, and that's the wildest thing, that this game comes out and it just drops, and it's inside Game Pass, and it's a launch day game, and I'm like, I wanted to play Keeper since I saw it. It's only $29. It's not something that's gonna break the bank. It's not something that's gonna, fundamentally destroy your wallet. But it's a puzzle game from Double Fine, and it's probably one of their passion projects that they had. And I love that Xbox, when they purchase studios, they don't kill the projects that they have on the back burner, projects that's on the side. These projects got a chance to live life. I know Bleeding Edge is one of those titles that actually got a chance to, make it through. Hold on a second. Because they leave Coco down here. Absolutely insane. Yeah, left Coco. So passion projects don't get cut off. Actually, passion projects actually get a chance to see life. Now, I know Bleeding Edge didn't light the world on fire, but there was some level of artistry that was inside Bleeding Edge that I appreciated. I think if they could have took that and fleshed that title out, that title could have been a little bit more. And this is why I say this is the difference between both companies. Titles that do actually make it out the door, they don't chop them, right? Yeah, maybe they chop some stuff, some studios after the fact. But I'm talking about the titles itself. Once they make it to the world, they support the titles until the titles actually look like something. Or in Bleeding Edge case, it kind of just, falls by the wayside because it wasn't that much support for it. And I felt that was the issue for that title. But somebody asked in the chat, if Microsoft didn't put their games on PC, would the series consoles be as successful as they are? What do you define them putting games on PC as a successful console? I don't know what you mean. Maybe you're talking about the games. Would the games see sales based off of the fact that they were on PC? Yeah, if a PC gamer happens to see the game and it's sold and they purchase the game, I guess the game gets more sales. And I think that is, for any company, a smart idea. Placing your software where you make the most money in as much places as possible is the smartest thing that you can do. Now, limiting that reach is absolute ignorance. And I understand it, right? As us guys, we want to continue with the same thought that, having that mindset, you will say this isn't an Xbox. That's what you would say if you have that mindset. Because what you're not understanding is the marketplace is changing. Well, it has changed. And if you don't understand it, and I just told you with Battlefield, that 3.5 million units are sold, and they continue to sell, on PC, where 1.5 sold on PlayStation and 1.2 sold on the Xbox. That means that PC is the driving force. That console really isn't the driving force when it comes to these titles pushing units. When you can look at something like Ghost of Yode and you have 80 million units out there shipped, I don't know how many million are sold to consumers. Maybe you say 50 million is sold to consumers. Because if Xbox is at 40 million sold and they sell 1.2 million and PlayStation has 80 million shipped, and they only sell 1.5, so you have to extrapolate the sold number can't be that much larger than the ship number. Than the sold number on Xbox. It has to be somewhere close, right? So for that number to be off by a point, right? So you really have to look at that number. That 100,000 number has to come from the fact that they have probably similar to amount sold to the consumer in the marketplace. Whereas PC is getting the dominant piece of the pie. So if you have all this data, wouldn't your next console be more PC inclined? Wouldn't you start to strategize your shipments to be pushed to PC? So that's the reason why I showed you the PlayStation piece, that they're focusing on a next live service, which is one of the best services that they got as far as the baseball goes. As far as MLB, it's really not too many good baseball games that are in the marketplace because the Japanese ones can't come over here because they don't have the licenses, right? So again, it makes sense. If it makes dollars, it makes sense. You have to ask yourself, would PlayStation have started to see some return off of their investments by putting their games on the PC? They just don't have enough studios to do it at a rapid pace as Xbox. I think Xbox has too many studios right now because you got games dropping inside Game Pass just like matter of factly. And I don't care if it's just $29. The game is a Double Fine game. Tim Schafer name carries weight. That game is supposed to be on the splash page when it pops up. That game is supposed to be talked about all over the place. I saw it had a Metacritic score of something like 79 and had an Open Critic score of something like 8 and some change. I'm just saying, me personally, I think that title so far hasn't been talked about enough. And I think it needs more legs and more conversation revolving around the title. I'm going to play the title because I downloaded it. I'm going to play the title because I'm doing some NDA stuff. But I do want to dive into the title because I was interested in it. It's kooky, it's quirky, and what is the light tower component? I don't understand it. I want to know more about it. So I just felt that it was dope that it dropped inside Game Pass. And if you happen to have Game Pass, then you got probably a gem that popped out right in front of you. And if you have this ROG, or if you have PC Game Pass, you got a chance to get PAX Die, which that looks like something incredible that you're going to spend a majority of your time there. The level of engagement is now centering around Xbox, and it's really being taken away from PlayStation because I don't hear nobody talking about Ghost of Yode. I don't see any Ghost of Yode play. I just hear all these PlayStation channels saying this is not an Xbox, and Xbox is dead. And Xbox is no more, and Xbox doesn't sell, and they're removing Xbox off the store shelves. Well, didn't y'all just drop a AAA title? Isn't that the last AAA title for you for the year? You try to slap a marketing deal on Battlefield 6 to try to associate yourself with greatness because the title that you put out that was supposed to be greatness, nobody's talking about it. It went like double plastic. So, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you, but I do tell you this. Somebody said Series S was a mistake. I don't believe that Series S was a mistake. I believe Series S was good. Now, do any of y'all remember? You just finished? Damn, Twank. You just finished it? Jesus, crackers with cheese, bro. It was just out for like a day. Come on, Twank. Not like this, bro. Not like this, Twank. Now, does anybody remember a little title called Midnight Club? Does anybody remember that? Do you remember? Do you remember why they went offline? Like, all right, so when I had my Dreamcast, when I had my PlayStation, I think it was like PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 1, I would go get import games. And it was like Midnight Racing. It was Midnight Club, I think, or just Midnight Club. And I got it. And I forgot. I don't remember if it was Dreamcast or if it was PlayStation or Saturn, but I know I imported it. And I brought it back to the house, and Cog and them we got a chance to see it. And we loved it. It was like racing at night, and it was so much fun. And, you know, the cars come up behind you and flash the lights like that. And you know, boom, you take off and you racing, and it's like Tokyo. Well, And then we got Tokyo Drift with the Fast and the Furious, and that was dope. Well, I want you to see this. Oh, thank you. I mean, I'm trying to be as respectful as possible with answering any questions, and I'm getting ready to open up the floor for anybody that want to jump in on the Discord and have the conversation. Make sure. Hold on. Where's Discord at? All right, cool. It's right there. If y'all want to jump in and you want to talk about something, so y'all can get ready for that. But I came across something that remind me of Tokyo Drift and Midnight Club. It's called Japanese Drift Master. And I want you to see this because I thought it was something that was cool for me. Hold on. What are you doing? Hold on. Shh. Stop that. All right. Be quiet. All right, cool. Now I want to show you this because this thing looks really cool and I'm super into this, and I want to know if you guys are into this as well. Yep. That joint right there, I absolutely love it. I'm interested in it, and I can't wait for it to drop because it's dropping in November. And I saw it pop up, and it was, homage to street racing, Japanese culture, an extension of cartoon and options with visuals and mechanics and all that stuff. And it's dropping on November 21st for the Xbox Series S and X. And listen, if you're into that, like I always thought it was the limitations of the hardware that told me that these Japanese games were so tight in far as like the roads are small. When I was playing Shenmue, I'm like, oh, the boards are short just based off of Map of the World is short based off of the fact that they don't have enough RAM and stuff. No. When you go to Japan, their streets are tight like that. And it's like, I understand it now. It's like something clicked, like, oh, snap, it's really like that. It's not because of however we perceived it to be. That's how it is. So I got a chance to see Japanese culture racing at night. Well, I saw the cars getting up to go to do that. Now, I wasn't privy to see authentic street racing and Japanese street racing, but what I did see was the cars, like at a certain time at night, you just start seeing these cars that that get down, starting to move through the city. And they kind of like following each other, not moving real fast, not going crazy, but getting there. And me personally, I'm intrigued by that. That level of culture intrigues me, and I see it as something enticing to myself. So I know that, Midnight Club and, that's games like that actually, like, drift racing, those games do have a following. So the fact that I see it launching on Xbox and coming out in November, whereas a lot of these titles will probably miss the console, I do believe that they're making inroads into that area. And I don't know. Is a drift focused game? Is it something that you're into? Is that one of the titles that you look forward to? Because I look forward to titles like that because those titles actually please me. Now, I want to talk about the big thing. Pause. The biggest thing, console prices. And I know the title that you'll see, Xbox to leave China. And the thought process is, and this is brought to you by Adam Hales, and this was published yesterday at Windows Central. And it said Microsoft is reportedly moving Surface and Xbox production out of China. And this is the article itself. And as reported by The Verge and the details by Nikki, Microsoft is reportedly preparing to move its Surface production out of China. And if you're like me, you're surprised that Microsoft is even still making Surface products, then maybe you're a little bit confused and possibly happy. Now, the fact that that ignorant statement is, does Microsoft can still make Surface products? Yes, they absolutely do make Surface products, and Surface products are some of the best engineered products on the planet. Not just saying that from a standpoint that they're going to call me a Microsoft shill. I just happen to like the Surface when I actually did have a Surface. I had like 2 of them. I love the connectable folding keyboard. It was a lot of innovation that was inside the device. I do have a laptop, and that is provided to me by ASUS and Hewlett Packard. Well, HP. Y'all don't call them Hewlett Packard. HP. And very cool. Omen device is really cool. I'm not going to hold you. All right. So them moving out is based upon this radical individual that is punishing China. Now, I don't get into political stuff because I really don't care about it here, but it affects me and affects my gaming, and it raised the prices on my gaming. Or it gave companies the excuse to raise the cost on me gaming, to change how I game and force me to go into my wallet a whole lot further for my entertainment and enjoyment. And for that, I have a platform, and for that, I have a conversation. Now, the bigger thing, let me ask you a question. If Microsoft starts to take their production and puts it in somewhere in the States, let's say Texas, right? Now, I'm not a fan of Texas right now, but I'm just picking Texas because Texas is one of the biggest states, and the manufacturing in Texas is pretty much where people go because of all the inroads into the pipelines of distribution. That's the only reason why I'm picking it. No longer is it Detroit. It'll be probably like Houston, right? So does the price of the consoles go to affordable pricing when it comes from a Microsoft standpoint? And Sony talked about this not long ago, that they are exploring the options of manufacturing their consoles in the States based on the chiplets and the chipsets being manufactured or made in China and in Thailand. It kind of hurts us in a sense that they're not fitting the bill. When a tariff goes out, we pay that. It falls back on us. So if they made it here, if made in the USA becomes a thing again, is it possible that the last American console manufacturer that will finally come back and manufacturing consoles in the United States, does that give us a homegrown advantage, sort of like how the Switch gets a homegrown advantage on their console that's manufactured there, and their console is cheaper in Japan? Like me seeing that I can go into Japan and I can get a Switch 2 for $300 and it's native to their land. And we got to pay the premium tax of $500 for the same device. Is just a user, well, the fact that it's region locked. I mean, why can't we have that here? Oh, Jesse. Oh, my man Jess was good with the 10-pound super chat. They're going to manufacture the consoles in the UK. Britain rules. Shut up. Why can't they manufacture it in both places, Jess? Why can't they have two manufacturing plants? Why can't they have one manufacturing over in the UK, since they love Gamescom and they love to take away any advantage that the PlayStation has? And do you understand how great that would be to have a manufacturing plant there and have a manufacturing plant in the US? So not only, and I listen, I read your article. I understand where you were going with it. I was going to highlight the fact that well, not your article, but, Windows Central. The whole Windows Central is not you. But why not? Why not two manufacturing plants in different regions in order to make sure that you get rid of any bottlenecks for these devices and lower costs? Is it possible? Is it South London workforce? No, I don't think they're ready, Fee. Fee, my lady. I really don't. But I hope that this time, because this device, and am I right, Jez, that this device is launched in 35 states? Is it 35 states? I believe it's 35 states, right? That device is launched in. A larger amount of states than when the series consoles was launched. And that strategy for launching these series consoles kind of put them on a back foot to the PlayStation, where the PlayStation launched 2 million across a greater number of states and developed a pipeline and were in places that the Xbox wasn't. And Xbox decided to go to a smaller pipeline, well, limited states, 13 states, I believe. And it kind of stunted their growth. But I'm happy everything played out the way it did. Because if everything doesn't play out the way it does and they don't fall flat on their face, we don't get Game Pass, we don't get them trying to define themselves as a better box, pushing their numbers to a different group or ecosystem, and focusing on making sure that the Xbox brand continues, regardless of whatever device that you're playing on. Now, Jez, I'm willing to bet a knee that they will have a manufacturing plant in the U.S. as well as the U.K. And I have zero knowledge from any engineer, any manufacturer, any developer, or anybody in the know that could say King is right. I'm willing to take that bet. I think that if they do decide to get out of China, that they will split it. And the only reason why I would say Texas, because everything is big here in Texas, pause, is the fact that there's no state tax. And the tax breaks that this current administration is giving to anyone that manufactures here in the States is kind of something that a $1 trillion company, a $4 trillion company looking to be a $5 trillion company just really can't pass up when it comes to manufacturing something that they want to make a little penny here and there off of. So I do believe that the more attractive place is the U.S., and I understand that you got your bias, but I'm not saying that you're wrong. I do believe that based off of strategic planning, I do believe that the UK is attractive as well. Positioning that and making that a stronghold and fortifying that. I just want a console to show up and in the back, down at the bottom, or in the back or down at the bottom, it says made in the USA. I want us to start to get back to having some sense of pride. And why not? The last console manufacturer that happens to be a USA console manufacturer, why can't they make their games and their consoles in the States? Why are we forced to take a console that's supposed to be by an American company and inside it says made in Japan? I don't know. But I just got a couple of rapid fire things that I'm going to go over, and I'm going to jump in this Discord. If anybody's inside the Discord right now, you can jump in the Discord and you can be part of the conversation. The link is in the description. Check that out right there. But I do want to talk about this really quickly. And I told you this was going to happen as Battlefield starts to make more money. There's starting to be outcry based on what the Saudi group is planning to do with the workforce. When they told you that they were going to move a lot towards AI and start doing things based off of what AI has to offer, it leaves, this doesn't leave me speechless. This actually is on point for what I was telling you. The video game union workers rally against the $55 billion Saudi-backed private acquisition of EA with a formal petition to regulators. Job losses will be a choice, not a necessity, made to pad investors' pockets. As I told you before, the acquisition of EA and its going private was a huge concern to myself and anyone that's inside that EA building, and it should be a larger concern to you guys that are inside the gaming space, where now we can see if you are really about your words. I posted something today based off of KitKat letting go 16,000 workers off of the fact that now they have better AI to actually make the chocolate KitKat a whole lot better. So laying off 16,000 workers in one swipe and not telling you that it was for this or for that, it was just being more efficient in the workplace by removing them and replacing them with AI and robotic workers. I wanted to see the level of outcry that you was going to give, where you guys went absolutely buck bananas with anything that had something to do with Microsoft. I wanted to see if you felt the same way for the chocolate company letting go of 16,000 in one shot. And I heard crickets. It was some of y'all that said, man, this is dirty work. Damn, King, it's kind of messed up. I do a lot of thought tests with you guys. Experiments, if you will. I check and see exactly how much ignorant stuff that you guys are going to go for and how much stuff that is important will y'all support. And 9 times out of 10, y'all go for all the ignorant crap. Well, right now, where EA and the workers over at EA is going to change radically. And I'm not using that word radically lightly, because there's going to be different philosophies based off of purchasing. When you purchase a car, and I want you to think about it in the simple terms. When you go and you purchase a car, you do it as you wilt. You change the rims if you choose. You put stickers on it if you choose. You change the interior. Sometimes people take a car and make it totally unrecognizable from the moment that they got the car. SoTech member for 10 months. I salute you, Soldier. Soldier S rank. Blessings. Please share, like, and subscribe. That's my guy. I really appreciate you and all the members. I got something going up for you guys today. But the petition for the regulators is they're scrutinizing the deal right now. And I told you that would happen. But what else happened is once they saw all that money hit, and you know once money's on the wood, everything go good. U.S. senators voiced their concerns. They didn't voice their concerns before they sold 7 million units of Battlefield 6. Oh, no. Not one time. They actually said, let's see. But the fact that all that money is moving around, wait a second, hold up, wait a second, kind of like the ABK deal with Microsoft. Once they realize that Call of Duty is part of this, wait a second, doesn't it sell X amount of, wait a second, hold on. How can I, you said how much, that's 80 billion? 80 billion you said? This is 55 billion. You don't think it's not going to get the level of scrutiny going across the boards? Now, they're going to bring up any type of reason for this to be a thing. What I'm saying is, to hell with this part. To hell with senators jumping in, trying to voice their opinion. I voiced my opinion from the beginning. I made a joke on Iron Lord's podcast this week, if y'all got a chance to see it. And the joke was, they kind of switched stuff up with Call of Duty, right? They said that they had Call of Duty controls. And if you saw anything, it was tongue-in-cheek, and I was trolling. I was trolling at maximum full troll mode, and I actually got a chance to get DPS podcast. I got a chance to get both of them in one shot, and also got an innocent bystander with that drive-by. I spun the block and got both of them, and got an innocent bystander in my level of trolling. It was top-notch trolling. If you go and chat, if you get a chance to go watch it, go watch it. It's probably some of my best troll ever. But I got a chance to talk about them having certain controls inside the game. And once guys pre-ordered, then they changed the controls because they made it more Call of Duty-like. And then after the game came out, they had reverted on those controls. And I said, oh, they did a bait and switch. And then they sold the company, and they can't get their money back. So now when you're calling, you're getting a different number. And it was the best troll ever. But in jest, there lies some truth. And at the moment, Battlefield is making a boatload of cash. And these investors purchased the golden goose. And besides what's going to happen between Microsoft, Call of Duty versus EA's Battlefield, besides all of that stuff, the bigger thing is the people, the culture shift, and the fact that they can be as bold as telling you immediately that AI is going to play a large factor in going forward and making the place efficient. And seeing that tells me a whole bunch of stuff. That lets me know that regardless to what, we're expendable. And I don't want y'all to have selective outrage when it just comes to a company that you feel that you hate, like Microsoft. For some reason, we get a lot of vitriol as Xbox gamers. We get a lot of vitriol pointed towards the company based off of the fact that these guys just want to rage against the machine based on our love for a device. And they want to use anything as a catalyst to get that rage going. Where, in all honesty, they deserved your rage when it came to firing those people. If you're a $4 trillion company, find a way. But these private investors purchasing EA at that price point, something that was not on my bingo card, that leads me to wonder what is going to happen to EA next. Are they going to change their interior? Are they going to give EA a new paint job? Will EA be recognizable after they do exactly what they want to do with it? You saw with Tencent, when Tencent put some money in Ubisoft, you got a chance to see drastic changes happening quickly, kind of overnight. When that level of money is being tossed around, you can have creative people that made some of the most iconic games get told that they need to step aside. Former Assassin's Creed boss confirms Ubisoft asked him to step aside. Mark Alexis Cote, a Ubisoft veteran and strategic leader of the Assassin's Creed series, has departed the company after more than 2 decades. And reports have surfaced that Cotier's withdrawal from the firm. It was suggested that he was offered a leadership role in the newly formed Vantage Studios, but wasn't happy with the position and stepped back. In a new post from the social media, Cotier has set the story straight, explained that he remained in business as usual until Ubisoft asked him to step down. He expressly confirmed that he did not walk away from the company and he was called home that he has called home for 20 years. Do you get a chance to see what can happen when somebody has a difference of philosophies than what is established and what is originally there? Can you see what can happen to a company that just got an influx of cash from Tencent, just an influx of cash, and they started the new studio, and maybe your opinions don't align with the new ownership? Well, investors. Because EA has ownership. Ubisoft has investors. This is something to think about. I didn't see nobody raging against the machine with this. I didn't see anybody raging against the machine with the EA stuff. But I see you guys constantly talk about and make videos and talk about all this other stuff based on what you feel is a threat to your precious number one spot that is not even there. The PlayStation is not number one, hasn't been number one for a while. I have a little plumber that runs around with a banana throwing ape that says something otherwise. When Nintendo can tell you that they are projecting to sell 25 million units in this fiscal year, that's an unstoppable juggernaut that deserves the first console slot. When Microsoft brings up number 2 with selling the most software, has the best service, and also offers hardware with a level of diversity that is unmatched by all of them, you have to ask yourself, what the hell is PlayStation really doing? What are they really doing? They're coming out with a movie for Horizon. They're talking about canceling concerts. They're putting out a game that nobody really asked for. They really wanted Jin Sakai, that everybody has forgotten. If you didn't know, Death Stranding 2 is on sale right now. I'm just saying, in a world that is rapidly changing and quickly moving towards PC, when Nintendo is still fortifying its home base on console, is PlayStation standing there holding their dick by themselves in the bushes? Pause. Now, I know that was a little harsh, but sometimes you need to get smacked in the face and get woken up to know that the world has passed you by. And no longer is it about the unit sold. It's about that level of engagement. And you can't engage with no one if you're just sitting there talking to yourself in your little walled garden by yourself. Now, I do see that you're trying to change. And I do see that you're trying to branch out to PC. But sometimes, is it a little too late for the company that could have been gone long time ago in the PlayStation 3 era? Shout out to Shohei for telling the truth about you guys. If it wasn't for that TV division lending you some cash, your ass was out of here. But this is Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. Now, let me check the Discord to see if anybody's in there that wants to talk about anything. And no. So I'm going to jump out of the Discord, and I'm going to tell you guys, thank you for showing up today. I do appreciate each and every last one of you. And it's a dope thing to do. Have conversations with you. Talk about the industry. Talk about game consoles. Talk about everything that's happening. And the fact that Microsoft and Xbox may stumble here and there. But a little move here, a little move there, they can get right back on track. This is a step in the right direction. Now, it by no means is a perfect device. By no means. And I'm not claiming that it is. But it is an Xbox. Because the new definition of Xbox is everything's an Xbox. And they set your dumb ass up long time ago with that marketing, way before this device ever hit the streets, to have you conditioned to know that if they say it's an Xbox, it's an Xbox. You want it VR, they put out a VR MetaQuest. That's an Xbox. When you have I don't give an F money, when you have FU cash, they're able to brand your ass as an Xbox. But look, I'm going to do like all of you guys love to do, because now it's a premium service and it kind of a little bit of separation here and there. But I'm going to go play some Keeper because they just dropped that. And then I'll probably play a little bit of PAX Die later on after I finish this NDA game that I got to do. But look forward to me on Iron Lord's podcast tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And tonight I'm going to go see Black Phone 2. I was watching Black Phone 1 last night. I got to finish that up, and I want to see Black Phone 2. Addict saw it, and we're going to do an R&R based on that. And catch me later on this week with Dip Down Anime as we finish watching Jujutsu Kaisen. You can check that out on Iron Lord's Patreon or Dip Down Anime Patreon. And if you didn't notice, Dip Down is putting models together of, I don't know. I don't want to say it's Robotech. I don't know. I'm just watching him put together models. But he's doing such a great job. Him and his wife, they just need to fix up the camera angles, get a little bit of portable mics, and it's tighten up. But they're doing great things. And thank you guys for coming out to Fright Night Fridays. Hold on. Hollywood Rules member for 22 months. Oh, that level of support is crazy. That's from the initial. That's from the jump. King! Just saying what's up to one of my favorite people listening while I work. Listen, definitely hope if I can get you past your day, and that's 100% a dope thing. But I want to thank each and every last one of you guys. I want to go and I'm going to take care of that. And hopefully, I can finish that game like Twank, because Twank knocked that out the park. And I'm going to tell you, like I always tell you, try to play the Game Pass.
What's a man or a king? What's it saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game, but shoot what said as you claim it. It's that Xbox. Spin the block, his legs slide. Fast talking, no riddling. Moonwalking, selling moonrise just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That flash making a portrait. Gun kick back, knock grannies from porches. David on the scene, you know that it's scorching. What's a man or a king? What's it saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game, but shoot what said as you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?